Hi, welcome to episode 3 of the Colorado Municipal League Statehouse Report. I'm Megan Dollar, lead lobbyist with CML. You're going to be hearing about various issues today in our Statehouse Report. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the assigned lobbyist or contact me and I'll get you to the right person. I'm going to jump right in and start talking about a few of my issues. The first one is in committee today, actually, January 27th. It is House Bill 1020. It is a cleanup bill, or cleanup for the state sales tax exemption, lodging sales tax exemption. It came out of the Tax Expenditure Evaluation Study Committee. The reason that CML is supportive of this legislation is that it allows state collected local governments to exercise their local option to expand their sales tax base and begin to collect sales tax revenue on on lodging if it's used by somebody for more than 30 days. Another piece of legislation that's actually CML initiated legislation should be getting introduced in the next couple of weeks. We are finalizing our draft. This is the bill to correct the statute to reflect that local land use around affordable housing is not a violation of the rent control statute. Very clear clarification. We are also adding that a local government needs to provide options to the developer.
Good morning and happy Monday. Today I'd like to give you an update on some of the plastics legislation that has been recently introduced. First is Senate Bill 10, which I have brought up in previous Statehouse Report videos. This is CML-initiated legislation that simply repeals the preemption on local prohibitions of plastic products that's currently in statute. This would simply allow local governments the flexibility that they need to regulate these products in a way that is consistent with the long-term goals and values of their communities. For us, this is really about local control. Since the responsibility of waste disposal, waste management, diversion, and really just picking up litter falls primarily upon local governments, they should have a say in how things like single-use grocery bags are utilized in their communities. This bill is scheduled for a hearing in the Senate Local Government Committee on Tuesday, February 4th at 2 p.m. in room 354. We'd encourage and appreciate your testimony and support on the bill if you can attend. Last week, a couple of other bills were also introduced that would create a statewide prohibition on plastic products. House Bill 1162 proposes to ban the use of food-grade polystyrene, and that has an implementation date of 2022. House Bill 1163 proposes a statewide prohibition of single-use plastic grocery bags, straws, drink stirrers, and food-grade polystyrene. This bill also places a 10-cent fee on paper grocery bags. While neither of these bills are CML-initiated legislation, we have been working with the bill sponsors to make sure that the bills don't preempt local governments, especially when it comes to their own local regulations and fees on similar products. It is still early on in the session, but we will continue to keep you updated on this legislation as the bills move forward. Thanks, and have a great week.
Hi everybody, Brandy DeLang, CML Legislative and Policy Advocate. I've got a couple of bills to go through today, so let's get started. The first bill is House Bill 1070. This is the local government liable for fracking bans or moratoriums. So essentially what this bill would do is it would hold the local government liable if they enacted any moratorium or ban on any oil and gas activity, and then it would require them to pay the royalty owner, the mineral owner, and the oil and gas operator any of the revenue that was lost during that time. CML did vote to oppose this bill last Friday through our executive board. More or less the major concerns that kind of revolved around that vote was the idea that this would essentially create a slippery slope effect for other heavy industrial activity that local governments have regulatory authority over. Specifically, we have this concern that if we were to prohibit a local government from enacting a moratorium and taking that time to really figure out the right regulatory framework, it would cause us to not be able to do it in other areas as well. So we will be testifying against the bill this afternoon in committee, and we do expect that it'll likely die in committee. The next bill that we want to cover really quickly is House Bill 1137. This is a new bill that was introduced not too long ago. This would allow a local government, actually it would require at this point a local government to go out and certify that their area, their jurisdiction is being unserved or underserved for broadband, and then submit that to the Broadband Deployment Board. We are asking the bill sponsor to make one small tweak, which is rather than making it a requirement, we make it permissive so that a local government may go out and do this data collection. But ultimately, we are supportive of the idea. We feel like this is something that will really help us bring broadband into areas that have been consistently underserved and allow for the Broadband Deployment Board to weigh more heavily those applications that are being submitted from those areas. Finally, we also want to give you a quick update on House Bill 1129. This is the electric fence bill. We have been having consistent conversations with bill proponents as well as the bill sponsors, and as a matter of fact, we have a meeting with one of the bill sponsors this afternoon to discuss more of our concerns. Again, as a quick reminder, our biggest concerns is that this bill would entirely remove local land use and zoning authority around electric fences because the proponents would prefer that these types of fences are viewed more as security systems or alarm systems. While we can understand those concerns and understand the need for consistency in some areas, we do have a lot of concern that it would prohibit a local government from enacting appropriate land use regulations for their jurisdiction. So we'll keep you updated, and please do reach out if you have questions.
Hi everyone, Heather Stauffer here. Today I'm going to update you on two bills that I spoke about last week. The first is House Bill 1119, State Government Regulation of Perfluoroalkyl Substances, or PFAS. After the stakeholder meeting last week, CML, in conjunction with Denver, Colorado Springs, Fountain, and other entities, have been working to provide CDPHE with feedback on the bill and have drafted an amendment to help with some concerns about liability within public entities and public entities being liable for PFAS cleanup or treatment. The amendment also clarifies the department's stated goals to develop a statewide inventory of sites where PFAS have been found to fully understand the science and the magnitude of the problem before creating rules and regs. So CML is supportive of this amendment, and we're going to work with CDPHE and other stakeholders to hopefully get these changes added to the bill. So the second bill is House Bill 1138, the Public Real Property Index Bill. This bill, as a reminder, would require municipalities and all political subdivisions of the state to report their real property as defined in the bill annually to the state architect's office. We've offered the proponents of the bill several alternatives that would alleviate our concerns about an unfunded mandate. They're not interested in implementing any of those alternatives, so CML remains opposed to this bill as it creates a very heavy burden for municipalities.
Thank you for watching this week's Statehouse Report. Friendly reminder, if you haven't already signed up, please sign up for our legislative workshop, which will be at History, Colorado on February 13th. We're going to have a lot of good discussion around this year's legislative session, as well as some conversations around vaping and affordable housing. I hope to see you there. Thank you. Bye.